Tesla shares are higher today on reports it's preparing to launch a revamped version of the Model Y from its Shanghai plant. Street also expecting Tesla to report record deliveries in its earnings report in just about a month. But it may not be enough to keep Tesla on top, as Chinese automaker and Berkshire favorite BYD is reportedly on track to surpass Tesla any day now as the global EV sales leader. Joining me now with what that means for Musk & Co. is Canaccord Genuity's George Gianarikas. George, it's great to see you again. Welcome.
Thanks for having me on, and happy holidays.
I'd love you to tell us what you think about BYD. I mean, do you think they are more innovative, more disruptive, quicker to respond? You know, are they the new Toyota of the 1980s? And how big a deal is this potential crown they're about to take?
You know, it's a great question. And like people say, history doesn't repeat, but it rhymes. And so we've talked a lot about Tesla being the new Apple. And when the smartphone industry first started, you know, Apple kind of had 100% market share because they were the first one to market with a true smartphone. It's the same thing for Tesla. As the market matures and the EV pie grows, Asian competition came into the smartphone market. Same thing is happening into the EV market. And eventually, you know, Tesla will likely be overtaken from a unit perspective. But what's most important, and we think Tesla will win over time, is the profit share battle. But look, today, Apple doesn't have the most unit market share in smartphones, but it overwhelms the market in terms of profit share. And we think ultimately that will be what's most important for Tesla, and we think that'll happen.
You have a buy rating on Tesla, $267 price target, but is Tesla making cars more profitably than BYD does? And do you expect that to continue?
What Tesla has to do, and so this year was the tale of Tesla cutting prices, impacting their gross margins. We think there was an intent to that, and that over time, they expect to sell a lot of full self-driving FSD software to people who already own their vehicles. That's a big key to the story, because right now, their profit margins have suffered, but we think that's with a long-term plan in place to sell FSD software the same way Apple sells services. And so ultimately, we think it's through FSD software and through the vertical integration that Tesla's the best in the world at. It will ultimately result in higher than average gross margin and profits for their EVs relative to anyone in the marketplace.
If Tesla's infrastructure in manufacturing is leading edge, why have I read detailed profiles about how BYD's is better?
Look, BYD has some competitive advantages. They have a base that's purely in China. Tesla operates in the United States, in Europe, but Tesla's putting things together from a manufacturing perspective that are way beyond what other companies have done. I mean, they're building these molds in their vehicles for the Model Y, for example, this gigacasting that essentially breaks down a vehicle into only a few parts versus hundreds or even thousands before that. They're way ahead of the curve and ahead of their competition and learning how to manufacture efficiently at scale and innovating in places that other companies are just trying to catch up now.
But will they be hamstrung by the relatively limited number of models that they offer?
It's a great question. Look, ultimately, right now this year, they'll be in and around 1.8 million, about the same as BYD. We expect that to grow a lot in the future. We'll see what they say about 2024 on their earnings call. But we expect this company to be in the tens of millions of units over time. And I think they're planning the same. Look, when Tesla had an analyst day in March, they talked about removing some things from their production line, like rare earths, in order to make sure that they can scale up to this tens of millions of units. So that's their ultimate goal here. And when they get there and they're able to sell additional software to vehicles, we think that'll create a huge improvement in their gross margin profile over time.